either a ball cap or a ski cap.
Oh yes.
Games, he'll go roof open on that head. I mean, just defiantly so. If I had that hair, I would as well. Let's be honest. Wayne Larrivee joins us now. Our conversation brought to you by Steam Fitters Local 601. Learn more by visiting steam601.org and National Fire Sprinklers Association. Visit them at nfsa.org. Wayne, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Did you call a simulated game outdoors yesterday?
No. I've been in bad weather a lot, so I don't need to rehearse.
Don't need it. Okay. What about when you're the press box for you guys is it open air or no?
It's we open the windows, yes.
You do? Okay, so you crack them open. Yeah, because it connects you with the game. It makes you feel like you're not just calling it from an isolated room, right?
Yeah, you see it better when you can see it live, instead of watching it through glass. We hate broadcasting through glass. So we had to do that in Brazil earlier this year. We do it in Kansas City. It's not the same. I don't know what it is, but
well, that's because in Brazil they had bulletproof glass up, but that's a different
story. Don't make Wayne comment on that.
No, right? I didn't.
You don't want to get me going to that.
I'm just saying, no.
By the way, the new episode of the Larrivee and LePay podcast is ready for you now on the iHeart app. Wayne and Matt talk with Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy about his career and some interesting insights into college and the landscape that is shifting as we speak. Mark was a former athletic director at Colgate and at Northwestern. Catch the Larrivee and LePay podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts, presented by UW Credit Union. Here for you, here for every you, UW Credit Union. What did you find most interesting about your chat with Mark Murphy?
Well, he's got a wonderful story on the NFL draft and how George Allen of the Washington Redskins at the time, the legendary head coach, stashed him and a few other players away on the draft, then signed them as free agents. And, it's just it's a great story. Mark tells it so well. The other thing that I found interesting, we asked him a little bit about, when Brett Favre left Green Bay, was really almost like Mark's first day on the job. All of a sudden, he's got this Packers legend who wants to come back from retirement, and they end up trading him to the Jets. And the other factor was this, one of the major adjustments he made in the organization was when he decided that, the general manager will, as usual, report to me, but the head coach will report to me as well, kind of separating those two positions in the organization. And it's worked out pretty well. And I asked him about, doing that. Did you do it because you, Mark Murphy, the CEO, are a football person and can, because I don't know if another executive would have made that move. So it's a very interesting podcast. And we had Mark for about an hour, and he was just great.
Will this persist in the Ed policy era as he takes over this summer?
Very good question. We don't know. I think it first off, it's working. Let's be honest with you. I mean, it really has worked well. And
it's humming right now.
Yeah, it's really worked well. And Mark made a great decision 5-6 years ago whenever he did that. But it could be different under Ed policy, I suppose. It might be, maybe not. But Ed has Ed was born into this business. His dad was running the San Francisco 49ers with Bill Walsh under him in the heyday of the 80s with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and all those guys. So Ed has been around this. So he's uniquely qualified also to run the organization, and everybody's looking forward to his tenure coming up.
Right. That does help, but he's not a jockstrap guy, Wayne. And jockstrap guys I always trust more, meaning they played. They wore a jockstrap. They were in the trenches playing professional football. You can see what happens when the wrong people are running a franchise. The story yesterday from Diana Rossini and The Athletic about Woody Johnson. You're nodding your head, so you saw that, where apparently Woody Johnson was nixing trades based on Madden ratings. That
Amazing.
His son was involved in decision-making, his teenage son. That one confidant to Joe Douglas said that Douglas at one point in exasperation said, "I report to a teenager."
Yeah, I know.
Woof.
I mean,
Look, did you see all that?
Stuff.
I saw it. It's crazy. And Wayne, I
Do you
guess
believe it
that's-
all?
Yeah, I was going to say that was my question exactly. Zabe, do you believe it, Wayne?
I do.
Well, those are good
I
reporters
do.
on that story.
That's
Mike
the
Silver,
point, yeah.
Diana Rossini. Those reporters at The Athletic are darn good. So
They're
yeah,
not only good, but here's the thing. I've lived the Dan Snyder experience, so I have a broader understanding, acceptance of stuff you would never believe actually happened.
yeah.
And I either saw it firsthand or got direct firsthand confirmation of it. And I don't think Woody Johnson is much better than Snyder. He didn't work for his money. He got handed the team as a trust fund kid for the Johnson & Johnson empire.
Wow.
I mean, nothing shocks me. You can't survive bad ownership, Wayne, in this league. You just can't. And luckily the Packers don't have an owner, but Murphy kind of was the closest thing to being the owner, and he had a real steady hand on the wheel while he was there.
Somebody asked me the other day, what would you say, is the major factor as to why the Green Bay Packers have been winners more often than not over the last 30 years with the three quarterbacks they've had, et cetera, et cetera. I said it goes back to Bob Harlan and after Bob, Mark Murphy. Those two executives have been exemplary in what they were able to do. Bob, first and foremost, turning around a moribund, historic but moribund franchise and making the right choices with Ron Wolf. And then obviously he picks Mike Holmgren and they get Brett Favre and then Reggie White and the whole thing. Okay. But when Bob had to retire, he reached the retirement age and Mark came in, Mark, it was seamless. And Mark kept this ship on track, and they've been going gangbusters since. So I think it's the two executives at the top. I really think NFL, and we talk about Kyle Shanahan, all these guys, these coaches, these GMs, and all this other stuff. They don't get jobs unless ownership hires them and makes the right call.
Yeah, I think that's the big part of it. All right, last night, did you watch the game and did you watch the free kick? And how when you see that as a fan, how cool it is, and then. Isn't there a part of you that's like, man, I wish I was on the call for that one?
Yeah, that would have been fun to be on. I probably would have. That there was a weird rule there that set up the whole thing. So, I'm afraid John Kuhn would have had to explain that to me from the sidelines. But nonetheless, what a neat moment. It's amazing. You think you've seen it all, and then all of a sudden that happens. And how about the Fighting Harbaughs? I mean, goodness.
And the Bears didn't want to talk to him, Wayne. That's the craziest thing. The Bears said, no, we're good. We don't need to talk to him.
We gave that a good run last week, and it was fun. Trust me, it was fun. But, I mean, what he's doing there with that team, it's amazing. It shows you what attitude and approach can do for a football team. It's a big part of it. It's such I don't know. There's so many intangibles involved with pro football that it's amazing that he can come in and pull them together and get that done.
So Luddy found the last time the Packers tried a free kick. What year was it? How far was it? And what happened?
59-yarder against the Lions the year they went 0-16. Mason missed it by 3 yards. Ooh. And I remember as a freshman in college going up to go grab a soda from the fridge, what I thought was halftime.
What year was it?
Oh, wait. So the 2008 Lions were 0-15 coming into the game. And when I saw that, I was like, I've heard of this thing, but here it finally is. So 08 was when I first saw it ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Did not come home, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you watched any of the Enigma series about Rodgers on Netflix, Wayne?
No, I've got to watch it. People keep telling me about it. We've got to jump on it tonight, I think. I haven't had a chance to watch it. What do you think?
Well, I've not either. I'm going to jump on it eagerly in between all these games. Hell, we got a game tonight. We got 5 games tomorrow, 3 college, 2 pro. But I'm going to definitely watch it. Some guys don't care to really dig into that stuff. Nagler is not a fan of the whole, I don't care about his personal life. I'm fascinated by it. Also, apparently yesterday, Jason Wilde asked LaFleur if indeed Ted Thompson recommended the pick of Jordan Love, because that was hinted at in the Netflix documentary. And basically, LaFleur said no. that was not the case.
Yeah, pretty much that they combined two statements, two clips,
right,
and put them together. Which, if that's the point, that's just
wow, interesting.
So yeah, which is kind of what Gottlieb is complaining about Butchie at Green Bay.
Yeah, I was going to say
the whole nobody you is a week-old clip, and it was not meant to reference Michigan Tech that came in and beat him. So now he's scrambling. He keeps talking about it. Just move on. It was a bad week. You got to move on.
Terrible week. And when you cover UW Milwaukee, you cover the Rising League. So what's your, first of all, I don't know if you've talked with Coach Lundy at all, but maybe he said some things that you can't say. But what is your take on the Gottlieb experience so far and just what they've seen? Because it's not good. First of all, it's not good basketball right now. Like, they're not playing good basketball, period.
It was a big swing by Green Bay. I think they were kind of floored that Sundance left as quick as he did, Sundance Wicks. But he got a good job at Wyoming, a place he coached at, and, you could understand why he moved. But I don't think they were really prepared for it, and they had to make a big swing, not just from a basketball standpoint, guys, but from just a presence, an awareness standpoint. It's a gamble. But Doug says a lot of good things. He wants to build a program that is sustainable, and that's hard to do in this day and age of player movement and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I've worked several games over the years on radio, national radio with Doug Gottlieb, so I know him, and he's struggling right now. I hate to see it happen like that, but they've got some talent. That's the thing. It's just that he's in the throes of putting his program together, and a lot of the talent they have are guys who are on their third school. So there's a reason why they're on their third school.
And I'll just say the nobody you, and again, it's where it's at, but like the nobody you comment was after they played UW Milwaukee and got run out the gym. Now, that being said, that's not the right approach either. The nobody you, you've got to have some games on your schedule that you can win. The nobody you comment, then followed by a D2 loss. Yeah, people are going to connect the dots. Even though you didn't mean nobody you as in Michigan Tech falls under the category of a nobody you when you mention that. You never say nobody you. He's in the media. He should know better than to go down that road, knowing that people are going to come from him. And we all know Doug well enough. He's got opinions. And when you have strong opinions and you think you know everything, people are going to come after you. And that's what we're seeing a little bit right now, more than a little bit.
And the other thing is, everybody knows, at least around here in Milwaukee, his dad was head coach at UWM years and years ago. So Doug comes from a coaching background. He has coached on the AAU level, but this is a different animal. And I think
AAU doesn't count, Wayne, not to jump on. I have more coaching experience than Doug did with the 2 years I coached in the G League. So the whole AAU, the whole AAU. Well, no, but I'm just the whole coach AAU that doesn't line you up to have success in the program.
No, I understand
because of what Doug's done. He had his opportunity, and now he gets to learn. Like, you get to learn. The best way to learn is through what? Experience. Throw in the fire and learn what you're going to have success with and what you're not going to have success with. That's what he's doing right now.
That's what I was about to say, Butchie. You're exactly right. I was going to say that, hey, he's learning. I mean, he's learning on the floor. He's learning in terms of recruitment. He's learning in the media, especially. That's a different animal when you're on that side of the microphone.
Milwaukee's UWM is off to a nice start. 2-0 in conference.
Oh, they're playing well
overall. Playing good basketball right now. And so, we should talk more about them.
They're playing well, Czabe, and they're one of the favorites in the conference, and they're going to be up there all winter. Really good team that Bart Lundy's put together. He's an excellent coach. Wow. But they put together this team, and they're deep and they're talented. They like to run. They like to play a very entertaining style of ball. And I got to tell you something, in the Horizon League, they have the inside track, I think.
I agree.
All right. Is your driveway shoveled, Wayne?
No, we're waiting for the service to come by.
Service.
Oh, the service.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Butchie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have a reconstructed shoulder. I should probably cut you.
And back.
And back.
Maybe the service was the right call after the back surgery.
Right.
Maybe it was right. Never mind.
Right. We'll let him get away with it.
Good call, Wayne. Had the service.
You, Butch, you have no excuse, though.
Well, it's because I don't feel like a man. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I opened up this morning. I walked down to here, and I told Czabe, I said, Czabe,
I feel like I failed as a man.
I feel like I failed as a man. I didn't prime the snowblower. I didn't get it running early, so I tried to start it up yesterday. It doesn't
Didn't start.
Like that's 100%. That's an error on me.
You probably left gas in it all off season. It's scummed up carburetor.
Butchie, a guy with your AAU experience should know better than that, for gosh sakes. Come on.
Exactly.
That's coaching 101.
Right.
Prime
Wayne,
the snowblower.
have a great call on Monday night against the Saints. I know you will, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, take care.